you all? This is E-Man Booze. What happens when you get together about a dozen or so buddies who all love craft spirits, one of which already owns a very successful craft brewery? Heck, you start a distillery. And that's how Manatawny Stillworks came to be. They opened the doors in 2014, last April Fool's Day, and they're putting out a bunch of different spirits, including vodka. They got whiskeys, they got a white whiskey, aged whiskey, rums, and just recently a gin, which we don't have. Hopefully we're going to get it here one day so we can review it. Now today, we want to get into the whiskeys, into the white whiskey and into their first small batch single edition series whiskeys. That's this one right here. So let's get some in the glass while we're talking about Manatawny, and so we can let them open up and nose out and all that good stuff. Manatawny get its name from a local creek which the Lenape Indians named Manatawny, and it's in a town called Pottstown, PA. It's a little west of Philadelphia, and it's one of them old kind of, used to be industrial town, and now it's revitalized. And so, you know, these revitalizing towns, they're good places to start distillers because they become, you know, charming from the historical value. So a fella named J.Potts, John Potts, founded Pottstown in the 1700s, and that's who this clear version of the whiskey is named after. So that's a little bit of history about Manatawny and how they got the name. Now, how are the spirits made? All these spirits are made in a still, of course. Now, the still that they use is from an Italian company who I wasn't familiar with till I talked to Max Pfeffer, the master distiller, and Randy McKinley, the main marketing guru up there. It's a still called a Barrison still. And oh, I got a picture of it here to show you. Maybe you can take a look at, see what it looked like. Here and up here, you can see it there at the top there. But these people trying to get more of their stills into the country here. So, hey, it seems to be doing a good job, so I don't see why not. But in any event, and I'm rambling. Let me stop rambling here. So the, what was I talking about? Damn, man. Oh, we talking about making these spirits in the still. So, like everything else, they have another column still that they use to strip the spirits down in the stripping run. And then when they get it all together, they have a spirit run. And typically, the spirits come off the still between 70, 75 ABV or so, which is about 150 proof. And then for this one here, they go into 30 and 53-gallon barrels. Now, they use a very special barrel called a Honeycomb Barrel from a company called Black Swan. Let me come around here and show you what makes this barrel so unique. Let me show you a little picture here. Alright, so if you can see here on the right, it's a Honeycomb Barrel. And what that is you can tell here, if I can enlarge this a little bit, the barrel staves are actually etched. And what happens is, when they etched, before they charred, they provide more surface area for the spirits to come into contact with the liquid, and it helps age them a little bit quicker. So that's a kind of interesting thing. I don't know too many people using these barrels, but I bet we're going to see more of them. Now, before they make all these spirits and run them through the still, you got to start with the distiller's beer. And that's where Manatawny's got a lot of skill, because they got a lot of good knowledge about making beer. You make good beer, you make good spirits. So to get the beer fermented to about an 8% alcohol volume, and then before they throw it into the column still and then the pot still. Alright, so now we know how they made. Let's nose them up. Let's taste them. Oh, is there anything else? It might have been something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, this one here is iteration number 1 of the small batch series. And what Manatawny's doing is this. They're going to have a couple one and dones, a couple limited release whiskeys. But coming the end of 2016 or so, they're going to have a regular whiskey out which will be available all the time with a standard profile. But for now, they're just doing a lot of experimental batches, and I think it's a good thing because it gives you a reason to get your butt on up to the distillery and check out what they have to offer. All right, so I think we got, oh, another thing. This was released on December 5th of 2014. That was the repeal date of Prohibition. And also, to mark that special day, they bottled 1,920 bottles. Well, 1920 was the day Prohibition started, and we sure am glad it ain't here no more. So that's a scoop behind some of the historical significance of this here spirit. All right, now let's give this a nose here. First, we're going to do the J.Potts whiskey, the white whiskey here. Now it is whiskey, so it do have to touch the barrel, even if it only is for 5 minutes. It got to go into the barrel for a small amount of time to be called whiskey. Smell like white dog to me. I like me white dog. Remind me of moonshine. But here's the interesting thing about this one here. This one got a nose more like Scotch white dog. You know, like malt whiskey. So you get those real creamy, kind of like, not corny, because there ain't no corn in these spirits, but you get this, you know, if you drink Scotch, you know that note I'm talking about. You're picking that up in the nose here. There is some nice sweetness showcasing here too. It's lovely. Let's give her a shot here. Woo, that's a big boy there. Of course, we like big spirits. Got a nice sweetness to it. Got a real creaminess. Real good, nice creaminess to it. The malt is very prevalent. Now, the oats is what's interesting to me, because I haven't had like too many oat whiskeys or anything, so I don't quite know exactly what it's doing to the spirit, so it's got me a little bit stumped. But I like the notes that I'm picking off of here. We are getting some spiciness from the rye. Definitely some white pepper in here. And there's a fruitiness, little bit of, I'm thinking like more on the apple side than anything else. Now, what's funny about this, though, the other day when I poured this in the glass, it gave me this real fruity ester that reminded me of cherries. So, these grains, you start mixing them up, you never know what you're going to get. Especially after the barrel touches them for a while. Oh yeah, a little bit of vanilla in there. Tad of citrus. Let's do the age. Now remember, different mash bills here. This one's got a little bit more, what's it got? A little bit more, it's got 2% more malt, 1% more wheat, but 2% less oats, and 1% less rye, if my math is right here. Oh, who cares if it's right or not. 30 gallon Honeycomb Barrel, number 3 char. Oh, non-chill filtered. The fellas wanted me to tell you all this. When you look at these here bottles, you may see a little bit, something floating around in there. Could have a little bit of haze in it. You might see a little piece of, real teeny small piece of something like a little bit of char or something. Don't worry about any of that stuff that's in there. They don't want to chill fill those spirits, because when you chill fill your spirits, you take out all the proteins and the esters and the fatty acid. You don't want to do that. Them is flavor. You want to keep them in the bottle. So they don't chill filter. So as long as you don't mind if you throw an ice cube in here and it clouds up a little bit, who the hell cares? If it tastes good, that's what's most important. Alright, back to tasting. Woo, check that out. Now you're getting all the barrel wonderment in here. All the nice stuff that char provides. A lot of vanilla, honey, citrus, bright orange citrus. Picking up some cinnamon, anise or fennel. getting that fruity note. It's amazing. It is definitely like a combination. It's like a sweet cherry, though. It's really, really wonderful. And I even get a whiff of banana in the background. An ever so slight amount. It makes me think about banana. Let's taste it here. Oh yeah, that's big too. Big and bold. Very spicy. Lots of pepper. I get a clove note out of here. Cinnamon for sure. Anise, like we talked about. Sweetness of the grain. Very slight sweetness. Like mostly on the dry side, but the sweetness is in there. And I'm picking up that thing like remind me of Scotch again. Now it's funny because when you start tasting these aged malt whiskeys, a lot of times, I know at least for me, I pick up cocoa in here, and I'm picking up a little bit of that in the background. These are interesting spirits. Big boys. Let them open up, let them air out, but definitely enjoy them. Now, let me see what else. We got something else. There was something else I was supposed to tell y'all. Oh, we're going to get into the rum another day. And hopefully I get a hold of the gin. I think we covered mostly everything. I do want to show you something, though. If you decide to get up to Manatawny Steelworks in Pottstown, PA, you can get yourself a drink. Look at this cocktail menu right here. Isn't that something? Man, look at all these things. Oh, and visit their website because their website is just absolutely fantastic. It is so well put together. I don't know what else to say. Manatawny Steelworks. ManatawnySteelworks.com is where you can find them on the internet. I'm E-Man Booze. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and a soon-to-be-named new website that I'm working on, but I can't tell you about it yet. Bye, you all.